Okay, super. Hello, everyone. This is your educator, Khushwant Fatnani, welcoming you all to this small session where we'll have, in fact, it's going to be a very impactful session, I believe. Small in length, impactful in its nature. I have with me one of my students who cleared his NEET, that is the NEET examination, and is currently a student of AIIMS. We'll have some discussion with Anurag on his experiences. Which city does he belong to, right? And we'll have some chat on his experiences during his preparation, his current experiences at AIIMS. उसने अपने जर्नी के दौरान क्या कुछ सीखा, अभी उसे एक मेडिकल स्टूडेंट होने के दौरान क्या कुछ सीखने को मिल रहा है, उसके क्या क्या चैलेंजेस थे और उसने उन चैलेंजेस से कैसे मुकाबला किया। इन सारी बातों को आइए डिस्कस करते हैं, मिलते हैं अनुराग से और नीट की प्रिपरेशन के बारे में कुछ इंसाइट्स जानते हैं। सो हाय अनुराग, वेलकम टू द सेशन। कैसे हो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल?
सर मैं तो बहुत अच्छा हूँ सर। सबसे पहले तो हमें ये समझना होगा कि जो नीट का प्रिपरेशन है वो इतना आसान प्रिपरेशन नहीं है। उसका जो जर्नी है वो बहुत लंबा जर्नी है।
हम्म।
तो उसके लिए आपको किसी को 1 साल लग सकता है, किसी को 2 साल लग सकता है, किसी को 4 साल भी लग सकते हैं। मतलब जो टाइम फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस है वो फिक्स नहीं है। मतलब कि टाइम फ्रेम हर स्टूडेंट के हिसाब से अलग अलग होते हैं। तो सबसे पहले समझना होगा कि आपका खुद का स्ट्रेंथ क्या है और आपका खुद का वीकनेस
विल यू बी
क्या है, क्योंकि
Excuse me, Anurag, will you be comfortable in maybe framing one statement in Hindi and one or two statements in Hindi and then also try to put it in English so that both kind of viewers of this show will be able to uh, take benefit from it? Is that okay with you, Anurag?
yes, sir. I don't have any kind of problem. First of all, we need to understand. No, no, sir. I don't have any kind of problem. First of all, we need to understand that NEET is not an board level exam. It's an all India level examination. So you need to put your all hearted effort, because in competition like this, half hearted effort has no value. You need to give your 100%, 110 or 200%. Then only you can have a chance of getting selected in this kind of examination. So this examination is not so easy. So you have to prepare your own. So you have to find out your own weakness and your own strength, and decide your strategy according to that. So according to me, the most important thing in NEET is your memory power and your accuracy power. NEET is game of memory power and accuracy power. If your memory is too weak, then you can't clear this examination. Just like IIT is a game of IQ based examination. If your IQ is average or below average, then whatever potential you may have, but you can't clear the exam of IIT. So IIT is examination of IQ, mathematics plus concept. Need is a game of concept of single concept or two concept or multiple concept. You having concept of only two or three concept, or
Okay,
and
next question.
you need to have.
Anurag, actually, it's quite understandable, as you said, that NEET is more of a game of memory and logics both put together. Very well put that. Now, Anurag, can you try and tell that for an average student, right? So we know that we understand that a value of 110% or 102% is required for somebody, value addition to his subjects when somebody is preparing. But can you be a little more specific and shed some light on what are some typical challenges or challenges that every NEET learner is going to encounter while he's preparing for his examination? So try to be specific about challenges that an average NEET learner comes across. Over to you, Anurag.
Sir, something which is unacquired or uncommon in this stage is that you need to have good EQ power. EQ means emotional intelligence power. Emotional intelligence means whatever you are doing in this age, 16 to 18 age, you will have many events going across through every day your life. So you need to be a good event participator. Means whatever happening in your daily life, you need to manage that you need to manage that event in your life. Suppose someone tells bad things about you and you get disheartened and you spoil your 3 or 4 days. So that is very much important that you don't spoil your 3 or 4 days after getting disheartened by someone telling you that. Or sometime what happened that you get too high marks in one examination and you get too overexcited that I got too much marks, like just out of 720 I got 680 or 7 or I got 640 in one examination, and you spoil your 4 or 5 days that I got good marks and I'll get selected. So this is one of the things that you need to understand, that NEET is also a game of EQ based examination. Your emotional intelligence also plays a very important role in NEET.
Very good, very well taken. In fact, I also believe this that this point is something that needs to be addressed for any kind of preparation that the learners are making, because sometimes you will see that the student are academically or intellectually very good with their work, But just because some people say something at this particular age, we generally tend to become a little more sensitive to what people are saying, what our friends, our parents are thinking about our preparation, or some distant relative has spoken something negative. So we keep on overthinking that for a span of 1 or 2 days, or at least sometimes a week. And that might lead to like loss of that very valuable time. Very well put. I really appreciate that at your side. Very, very well spoken. So what can be done, do you think, to strengthen one's emotional intelligence? क्या कर सकते हैं लोग ताकि का अपनी भावनाओं, अपने जज्बातों पे थोड़ा वश बढ़ सके? Yes.
Sir, according to me, to have good emotional intelligence, you need to do a little. You need to have self confidence and self belief that I need. Why I have come. Your motivation, your purpose of your life should be clear. That why I want to join. Why I want to clear the NEET examination or any kind of examination. The purpose should be clear. If your purpose is clear and if you have strong determination, then you can have good EQ power. And sometimes it happens that your EQ is also your. Sometimes it happens that some events may not be good with you, but you need to let it go away. That is the most important thing. Otherwise, if you don't let it go away, or you don't ignore whatever is happening in your life, then you have to forget that examination is going to be cracked by you, because in this examination demands sacrifice. So if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice.
That's very well put once again. तो अभी क्या I'll just Anurag, just 1 second, I background noise. So just putting you on mute for 1 minute. तो अनुराग ने एक बहुत अच्छी बात बोली. अनुराग ने कहा कि जैसे अनुराग इंग्लिश में कह रहा है, तो मैं उसका हिंदी वर्जन आप लोग को बताता जाता हूँ, प्लस विद सम इंग्लिश एडिशन टू इट. अनुराग कह रहा है कि आपको अगर कुछ बड़ा पाना है ना, तो उसके लिए कुछ सैक्रिफाइस करना पड़ेगा. अगर आप कुछ और सैक्रिफाइस नहीं करोगे तो आपका लक्ष्य ही सैक्रिफाइस बन जाएगा. सो ईदर यू सैक्रिफाइस some portions of your life which you love, right, for what you want to achieve, or sometimes what you love that if you don't do that, then your goal becomes the sacrifice. So see what is a priority for you as you are on a short term or a long term target of achieving something great. So that's quite again well spoken. Good to hear that. Secondly, उसने कहा कि आपको अपने self confidence पे काम करना है, which means आपको अपनी clarity होनी चाहिए that why am I doing whatever I am doing. डॉक्टर बनना है तो क्यों बनना है, नीट देना है तो क्यों देना है, कहाँ पहुंचना है, क्या करना है. If that goal setting is good, if that visualization is good, so that will help you whenever there are certain challenges or hurdles that you come across in this journey. Very well put. Thank you for that perspective, Neat. I think Anurag, I think that's quite helpful for that should be quite helpful for all of our viewers. I think now you can unmute yourself and give us some academic challenges as well. I think I appreciate the first that you addressed, that the emotional intelligence should be good with the learners. Now, what about the academic difficulties that you think learners come across when they are preparing for their NEET?
Sir, according to me, the most important problem in physics is that the student does not understand the concept theoretically or practically in a proper manner. They think that they know the theory very well, but actually they don't know the theory in a proper manner. They have partial knowledge. They don't have full knowledge. If they have full knowledge, and if they know how to use their IQ in a constructive manner, in a problem solving, in a need solving approach, then their question will be solved. Suppose a student know concept, but he don't know how to use that concept in a proper equation manner, then his concept has no value. He need to understand that a question is solved having a concept. A question has 3 stages: question reading stages, answer solving stages, and mathematics stages. So he need to understand, he need to have command over all these 3 steps. You need to have command over reading skills, mathematical skills, and concept skills.
Excellent. So see, Anurag is saying, Anurag कह रहा है कि कोई भी question solve करते वक्त there are parts that you need to understand. Have the habit of reading questions. You will see a lot of learners sometimes used to the class-based learning where the teacher will tell you the problem. But the point is, in classes, teacher आपको problem पहले ही समझा देता है. The teacher will explain you the problem. But that does not completely satisfy the goal of learning, because आपको exam में वो question खुद पढ़ना है. You will have to be in your paper hall, like examination hall, and read the question by yourself and interpret what the question is saying. This part is also important. And when the student realizes that, how do you make sure that you do it better? आपको घर पे questions लगाने पड़ेंगे. You have to sit with questions, read them once, twice, or thrice. This is what Anurag is trying to convey. First step. Second, you'll have to solve the question. Third is to take care of the mathematics. You don't have to write 63 ka 36 or 35 ka 43. Some these kind of mistakes, mathematical mistakes, can also lead to making the question go in the wrong direction. Chalo, good. Any other specific subject-wise challenges, Anurag, especially because NEET is a bio-based subject? Any special tricks you think you had to apply when you were learning biology or say zoology or botany for that? Yes.
Second second most important thing is that your silly mistake must be avoided. So what students usually do that they think that अरे कोई बात नहीं silly mistake हो गया, they had a casual approach, but they don't have to do that. They have to remove that casualty from their NEET preparation. If they because if that casualty becomes a habit, then they'll always think that this is silly mistake and I'll avoid it at the last moment of my examination, and I'll remove it and I'll get good marks in my examination. But that casualty will remove that casualty will cost them a heavy price, so that casualty need to be removed.
Okay, so a person, एक इंसान को बहुत ज़्यादा lightly नहीं ले रहा है preparation को. When you're preparing, know that it's a preparation that keeps a lot of weightage. Your hard work matters a lot. So with that intention, you need to be somewhat serious about your zone of mode of preparation. When you're doing it, you should do it with full sincerity, full commitment. There should not be some lightness that you should take in terms of commitment. आप light रहिए, be easy in your attitude. But when you're doing something, do it with full commitment. That's what he's trying to convey. करो तो बहुत अच्छे से करो, है ना? Good, Anurag. Anurag, as I want you to address, bio में कोई खास दिक्कतें जो आपने face की, because NEET carries, I think, the highest percentage of marks for this biology as a subject. तो उसके related आपके मन में कोई thought process आ रहा है? Did you face any specific challenges with regards to zoology or botany preparation? How did you overcome it? What were the good points that attracted you to become a doctor, Anurag? दोनों चीजें I think I'll suggest you to answer. Yes.
Sir, in biology you need to remember a lot of things, so you need to use a lot of mnemonics, or you need to understand a concept properly, and you need to choose your teacher wisely in biology, because if your biology teacher is not good, then you need to focus on remembering, and if your memory power is not good, then how would you clear the biology examination? So your biology teacher should be very wise and very good. So according to me, your memory power is important in biology. If your memory power is not good, then how can you clear biology? So memory power should not be average, and most of the doctor who clear NEET, their memory power is very sharp.
Anurag, are there any suggestions? Because we have our brains, our neurons are elastic in nature. They tend to create a change in them with the efforts that we put in. So are there any specific remedies that a learner can use in order to help him augment his memory power?
Sir, memory power, sir, according to me, the brain development takes place from childhood. So if you do a lot of activity from childhood, or if you play a lot of games in your childhood, then your brain development takes place, your mental growth takes place in a very high manner. So if you are a very good sports person, or if you are a good active participator in any kind of event, then your brain development takes place in a very good manner. And suppose you like to do yoga, meditation, then your mental power also increases. So these are some of the steps that you do, because I used to play a lot of games from my childhood, and I used to do a lot of yoga from my childhood, so my memory power is very much sharp.
Okay, so Anurag is saying that we need to, the way there are exercises which are meant to make our muscles stronger, there are also exercises which tend to make our brain stronger. And one of the best exercises that we need to put in is doing meditation and yoga. Because meditation and yoga, I think I as a person also practices this, and I've seen that when you are in touch with the good practices, especially the breathing exercises, they tend to add to the sense of rejuvenation in you, sense of confidence increases. With regular practice of yoga and meditation, you all will see not only memory power, but also your perspective towards life tends to become broadened. You will become more
Yes,
peaceful and calm. The way he told, right? You need to be emotionally intelligent as well. Being subjectively intelligent is good. You have the subject knowledge, excellent, really appreciated. But apart from the subject knowledge, if you have emotional intelligence, keeping a calm on your impulses, if you get good marks, don't get too excited. If you don't score very well, then don't get too depressed. It's okay. Not score well. Somewhere on the middle line is also important. And if one person learns that, irrespective of the field, I think that person is an achiever everywhere. I think Bhagavad Gita also tells this to all of us, that one must have a balanced and calm attitude to become an achiever in any field whatsoever. Good, Anurag. Good to hear that. Anurag, I would want you to tell us, apart from your biology preparation, any specific chapters you think that required a lot of use of mnemonics as you were preparing in biology specifically?
सर बायोलॉजी में तो वो जो सर बायोलॉजी में वो जो एनिमल किंगडम वगैरह होता है जिसमें चैप्टर पढ़ना होता है टेलोफाइटा का ब्रायोफाइटा का जिसमें बहुत सारा मॉर्फोलॉजिकल हो गया एनाटॉमिकल हो गया जिसमें बहुत सारा चीजें याद करनी होती है वो सब में बहुत सारे रट्टा मारने पड़ते हैं सर और केमिस्ट्री में भी पी ब्लॉक हो गया एस ब्लॉक वगैरह हो गया इनऑर्गेनिक एलिमेंट्स वगैरह हो गए उस सब में पढ़ने पड़ते हैं सर तो वो सब में थोड़ा सा तो निमोनिक्स यूज करने पड़ते हैं और सर दूसरी बात ये है कि मतलब कि ज्यादातर लोग जो नीट निकालते हैं और या फिर जो आईआईटी निकालते हैं उनका मेमोरी तो अच्छा होता ही है मतलब मेरे हिसाब से मतलब मेमोरी और ग्रेस्पिंग सर मेरा मेमोरी और ग्रेस्पिंग पर बहुत शार्प था तो मुझे निनोमिक्स और ये बायोलॉजी और इनऑर्गेनिक में इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता था मुझे फिजिक्स में स्टार्टिंग में कंसेप्ट कुछ समझ नहीं आता था कंसेप्ट कुछ भी समझ नहीं आता था फिर 2 साल स्ट्रगल करने के बाद कंसेप्ट समझ में आने लगा और कंसेप्ट जैसे समझ में आने लगा और मेरा आईक्यू तो था ही तो उसके बीच में कंस्ट्रक्टिव थिंकिंग भी होने लग गया तो सबसे पहले स्ट्रगल तो मुझे लगता है कि कंसेप्ट समझने में स्ट्रगल करना चाहिए
गुड अनुराग, आप जैसा आपने ये वर्ड यूज किया mnemonics, not everybody might be aware with what are mnemonics. Can you give an example to everybody of them?
सर वो है ना 11 का केमिस्ट्री का सबसे पहला पीरियड वाला बेटा मांगे कार स्कूटर बाप राजी
Try to give them more example, explain them, give a very good example and try to explain them because some of them might not be knowing what are mnemonics. Yes.
सर वो मतलब कि जैसे बेरिलियम हो गया मैग्नीशियम हो गया कैल्शियम हो गया स्ट्रोंशियम हो गया रेडियम हो गया ये सबको कर सकते हैं ना बेटा मांगे बेटा से बेरिलियम हो गया मांगे से मैग्नीशियम हो गया का से कैल्शियम हो गया बेटा मांगे कार स्कूटर स्कूटर से स्ट्रोंशियम हो गया तो ऐसे करके याद कर सकते हैं सर
So I hope you all are, as learners are understanding that he's trying to convey that we have to use some kind of tricks. These tricks are basically how you arrange some certain letters in a poem or certain letters in a song with regards to something that needs to be memorized. For example, you will have certain elements in periodic table. In order to learn those elements in order, there are certain songs or certain key statements. For example, Bata Alu Gajar in Thela is B, that is boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and then thallium. So Bata, Alu, Gajar in Thela. So they are just simple examples. You can, of course, discover these mnemonics while you are in contact with your educators. You can ask them, or you can frame your own mnemonics also. You can search them on the internet. Now we all are in a age where if we have approach to infinite amount of resources online. So you can take some time every Sunday and learn certain mnemonics in biology, especially chemistry and biology. For physics, I think it's immaterial. Physics requires conceptual understanding and numerical practice. But for biology and chemistry, mnemonics play a very helpful role in making you understand some concepts, right? Good. Super.
सर मैं एक एग्जांपल और देना चाहूंगा सर
Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
सर जैसे फिजिक्स में लिखा हुआ है कि F इज इक्वल टू ma होता है तो जैसे जैसे कभी कभार क्या होता है हिडन नॉलेज दिया जाता है जैसे F को क्वेश्चन में बता देगा कि F इज कांस्टेंट तो हमें समझना होगा कि F अगर कांस्टेंट है तो उसमें एक्सीलरेशन कांस्टेंट होगा क्योंकि मास जो है वो जनरली चेंज नहीं होता है तो ये कंसेप्ट हमें तब समझना आएगा कि एक्सीलरेशन कांस्टेंट क्यों होगा क्योंकि एक्सीलरेशन कांस्टेंट होने से न्यूटन का थ्री लॉ ऑफ इक्वेशन जो है थ्री लॉ ऑफ इक्वेशन जो v इज इक्वल टू u प्लस at वो लगा सकते हैं अब जिसको पता होगा कि थ्री लॉ ऑफ इक्वेशन लगाने के लिए एक्सीलरेशन कांस्टेंट होना पड़ेगा वो इस बात को जान पाएगा और जिसको पता ही नहीं होगा कि एक्सीलरेशन कांस्टेंट है वो मतलब एक्सीलरेशन कांस्टेंट होने के बाद v इज इक्वल टू u प्लस at लगा सकते हैं वो इस कांसेप्ट को लगा ही नहीं पाएगा तो हिडन नॉलेज को समझना भी बहुत जरूरी है
See, Anurag is saying that you all need to understand one thing, that whenever you're doing any chapter, okay, and solving the questions, some questions will have hidden agendas or hidden tricks. Example, most of you must have read this equation called force is equal to mass into acceleration, okay? Now, there are three equations that we generally use whenever acceleration is constant. V is equal to u plus at, S is equal to ut plus half at square, v square is equal to square plus 2as. Now, in the question, they might not directly tell you that you need to make the use of these three equations. They can indirectly supply you the information. They'll say force is constant. And when they tell you force is constant, you'll have to understand that in this question, one of these three equations can play a major role in helping you reach the final answer. So this hidden link, whenever you come across questions where these things are happening repeatedly, write them down in a copy. I will suggest make a copy where you are in every chapter. What are the hidden links that you are exploring while you're solving questions? So please understand that sometimes these hidden links might be given by your teacher, and sometimes you have to yourself explore or be very when you're in the class. जब class में question solve कराते हैं teacher, तो बहुत ध्यान पूर्वक सुनो उनको. देखो कि उनकी approach कैसे है. You will see that whenever I am giving you all some questions, I'll make you all write key pointers in class, right? So this is what the key pointers are aimed at. Be very, very, very conscious about what key pointer are you writing. Sometimes leave some space after every question, 2 to 3 lines, where you'll try to analyze. और ये कब होगा? When you're not blankly solving questions. देखो question तो सब बच्चे solve करते हैं. Everybody does that. I will always recommend you all that after you all solve questions, no, on the same day or on that weekend, in whichever week you solve the question, sit, open your copy, try to revise that question and see and try to understand a hidden link. How are you actually reaching from what is given to what is being asked in the question? And try to write that in the form of a statement below that question. That is the summary in written form. What did you actually do? Force was constant, acceleration constant, use of three equations to get the final answer. For example, in some questions, they'll say a ball is dropped from a height. As soon as you read the word dropped, means
velocity is equal to 0.
Initial velocity is equal to 0. So these are certain hints that you have to pick up from the question. Good that you're picking up. But on every weekend, if you make a habit of writing down below the question in your copy itself, so leave space, pehle se preparation karo. In advance, be prepared that whatever question you're solving, there's going to be some hidden trick in every question, perhaps. So especially those questions which are not directly asked, in which the data is indirectly given. Try to leave some space. On every Sunday, try to write down the approach that you used with that question or the algorithm. I hope you all can write this down now also in your copy, whatever I'm saying and trying to interpret Anurag's insights for you all. Thank you, Anurag. That was very, very kind of you to give us that insightful knowledge. Good. Anurag, one more thing. How your schedule used to be? What were your sleep hours, Anurag? कितने घंटे सोते थे तुम? Yes, during your preparation.
सर एक्चुअली मेरे को क्या है ना, और एक बात ये बताना चाहूंगा कि स्टूडेंट किस तरह के पर्सन है, उस पर्सन का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक के हिसाब से उनका पढ़ाई को डिसाइड करना चाहिए. मतलब कि कुछ स्टूडेंट होते हैं जो मोनोटोनस होते हैं, कुछ होते हैं जो वर्सेटाइल होते हैं. तो कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं कि दिन में सिर्फ एक ही सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ते रहते हैं ज्यादातर टाइम, और कुछ लोग होते हैं जो 2-3 सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ लेते हैं मतलब एक ही दिन में. तो डिपेंड करता है कि पर्सन का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स कैसे है. अगर कोई पर्सन एक ही सब्जेक्ट को पढ़कर ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड कर लेता है, जैसे आज केमिस्ट्री पढ़ा, कल फिजिक्स पढ़ूंगा, परसों बायोलॉजी पढ़ूंगा, उसके बाद फिर केमिस्ट्री पढ़ूंगा, तो वो मोनोटोनस होकर स्टडी करते रहते हैं. और कुछ लोग होते हैं वर्सेटाइल होकर स्टडी करते हैं. कुछ लोग आज बायोलॉजी पढ़ लिया, केमिस्ट्री भी पढ़ लिया, फिर कल फिजिक्स पढ़ लूंगा, फिर कल केमिस्ट्री पढ़ लूंगा, 2 सब्जेक्ट का कॉम्बिनेशन लेके चलते हैं. तो कुछ लोग, वो डिपेंड करता है पर्सन टू पर्सन कि उनका पर्सन का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स कैसा है.
Very good. So for those who are the learners who are listening to our conversation in English, this is also a very nice pointer. See, he's telling that we should also try to understand what kind of person we are. So for example, if I talk about myself, I have been a sort of person who will try to take breaks from what he's doing after say around 1 to 2 hours, and then I'll try to shift to some other topic. That used to give me a like kind of relaxation from one particular topic. And meanwhile, I'm doing that, it will also, that topic which I've read 1 hour before is also seeping better into my brain. So you have to see that sometimes a person is too focused. And if he has started one topic or one chapter, one subject, you will want to remain on that. It's good that you have that trait. See what trait you have, and then accordingly frame your preparation. Good point. Excellent point. I think we have some very good points coming from you, Anurag. I think most of them would not have thought about these points before. All right. Your sleep hours when you were preparing for NEET exam. कितने घंटे?
सर
Yes.
Sir, according to me, you need to understand that when you are preparing for any kind of competitive examination, it is your schedule timing of your daily sleep or your daily schedule becomes totally different from your usual kind of scheduling, because you are preparing for competition, and in your competition you need to do a lot of sacrifice. You need to beat the competitor who is at your level only.
Please start. Yes, sorry, actually, there was one of the parent who had called me up. Yes, and Anurag, go ahead, please go ahead. So you're saying that the sleep schedule is very prominent when you come to like when we talk about the NEET preparation. फिर भी average में how many hours a day you think a student requires good sleep? Like what will you call a good sleep for a candidate who is preparing for the exams?
Sir, first of all, you need to understand that you don't need to be you need not need to be so much isolated from the other person. You need to be social with your parents, with your good friends. Suppose because it's very tough to find good friend in today's world, so you can have connection with your real you can have connection with your real relatives, who are your well wishers, and you can connect with your parents so that you can be stress free. And suppose there is a concept of sleep in depth. Suppose if you don't sleep for 2 hours a day, then you can what to say, you can, सर उसको क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में, क्या बोलते हैं उसका कर्ज को चुका सकते हो। मतलब अगर आज आपने 2 घंटा कम सोया, तो कल अगर आप 2 घंटा ज्यादा सो लोगे, तो जो आपका स्लीप साइकिल जो कम हुआ था वो बराबर हो जाएगा। तो आपको डेली स्केड्यूलिंग में देखना पड़ेगा कि आपका डेली जो गोल है वो गोल कंप्लीट हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा। गोल 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 अभी आप ये अब देखना पड़ेगा कि आपको गोल को कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना है या स्लीप को कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना। अगर किसी दिन स्लीप कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जा रहा है, तो दिन गोल को जल्दी अचीव करके स्लीप को बेटर करना पड़ेगा।
Okay, so he's saying that, apart from his perspective, I'll share my perspective too. Everything starts from one good decision. You will see, entire good journey will depend upon one good decision that you take in your preparation. Okay, so I'm not again boasting myself. This is just to give a good value addition point. When I was in my college, I had a schedule of sleeping early every day, come what may. So if I have decided that to sleep at this particular time, then I have to sleep. Come what way, I'll be on my bed. I'll be closing my eyes, having deep breaths, and will be into my bed. Nothing else is important for me than sleep at those moment of time, unless something very important turns up at the same moment, right? So, for example, if my parents' call comes up or something like that, then those are certain factors, or something, or one of my neighbors in the hostel needs some support, some help, something like that. All of these are some secondary factors. Cool, understood, but they won't happen every day. These are certain exceptions, right? Or my roommate needs certain help, something like that. Or I have some extremely important work that couldn't be accomplished. Otherwise, we all have to make sure that our schedules of sleeping and waking up in the morning should be very somewhat fixed. So if it is 6 o'clock, for example, then it should be 10, 10:15, 10:30, but not so one day 10 and the other day 1 o'clock. Again 2 o'clock, then again 9 o'clock. This is something that might hamper your biological clock. So अपनी biological clock को balance रखना is very important. And of course, that was my key pointer. Okay, I'm sharing my key pointer. That
Yes,
was
sir.
something I did as a person, and then certain shifts here and there is good. He's saying that if one day, for example, you have slept for 6 hours and you're not you still feel sleepy, try to sleep early the next day, right? Give your body sufficient rest in a span of one day or two, but don't starve yourself of sleep for say 1 or 2 weeks. You're not sleeping well. Don't do that, because that can have a very adverse impact on your sleeping patterns, on your health. So remember, I have learned this from my family, that your health is your primary wealth. So once you are in a good state of mind, good state of your body, it becomes easy in life in general. Don't think that NEET or JEE preparation is the end goal of life. No, it is a journey. It's a part of the journey. But remember, your body is going to stay with you until the end of your life. So if you take good care of your body is going to give you good returns in long run, right? It's like your vehicle. If you get your vehicle over-oiled after like if you get your vehicle recharged after some time, there is proper cleaning work going on, proper oiling going on. then your vehicle will give good returns. Your engine will work for a longer period of time. If you don't take care of your vehicle, then it's going to die out in a very small time. Same thing with our body. And in order to take care of the body, sleeping and eating patterns should be very, very taken care of. Like, this is something, one of the best messages that I want to convey all my learners, all my viewers out here. Good, Anurag. Thank you for sharing that point. Now, Anurag, will you want to tell us some specific books that you referred while your preparation, when you were preparing for all the three subjects? Maybe you can go for biology first, and then we'll go to the next one. Yes.
Sir, हाँ सर फॉर बायोलॉजी एनसीईआरटी इज सफिशिएंट एनसीईआरटी से आपका 340 से लेकर 350 तक आ जाएगा, मतलब कि जहाँ 2-3 क्वेश्चन ही ऐसे होते हैं जो थोड़े से टिपिकल लेवल के होते हैं, लेकिन बाकी अगर आपने पढ़ लिया एनसीईआरटी को ढंग से पढ़ लिया, मतलब कि आप एनसीईआरटी के लाइन बाय लाइन को पढ़ लेते हो, मतलब इफ यू रीड द एनसीईआरटी लाइन बाय लाइन and you know the concept thoroughly, it is said that you need to memorize a lot of biology, you need to memorize a lot of concept in biology, but if you understand the concept, there are two things, there are two different things: understanding the concept and memorizing the concept. But if you understand the concept, then your biology become very strong. So you need to understand the concept in biology. There are so many chapter in biology you need to understand, like genetics is there, so many ecology part is there, we need to understand that chapter. So there are so many chapters we need to understand. And class 12 biology is very much easy. Class 11 biology is a bit typical chapter, is a bit typical. Animal physiology is there, plant physiology is there, glycolytic cycle is there. So there are so many chapters. So at some point of time you will get frustrated that I'm studying so much and I'm not able to remember. But it happens with everyone. It's not you that it's happening with only you. You need to understand that your competition is taking place with only 1 lakh people, and every 1 lakh people feels that kind of frustration, and they go with the same feelings that you are going through. So you need to have just patience during that time, that it's the competition that we are going through, and everyone is going through that phase. So I will also need to go through that phase.
So this sense of urgency sometimes tends to erode our judgment. Please remember, a lot of learners go through kind of state. They feel that if they don't improve now, what will happen? If they don't prepare now very well, what will happen? It's very important to understand that first step in like normalizing this is trying to understand that everybody somewhere or the other goes through these kind of emotions. What matters is how do you reciprocate? What steps you take as a learner or as a person who is on this journey when you come across these emotions. First step is identifying that you are not alone. A lot of learners feel a sense of frustration when they are preparing for these kind of examinations, not just these examinations, any kind of examination, what may be. I'll give you an example, okay? There are viruses and bacteria. I think bio students will agree with me, all around us, right? We don't fall ill or we don't fall for fever in every day of our lives, right? Or cold doesn't catch everybody in the house. Sometimes.
Because our
yes, go ahead, Anurag, go ahead.
सर
Yes.
वो बिकॉज आवर इम्यून सिस्टम इज देयर ना, तो इम्यून सिस्टम हमारा कंट्रोल कर लेता है, लेकिन बट फॉर एग्जांपल लाइक वी हैव गॉट एड्स, सो व्हाट डज एड्स डू दैट दे वीकन आवर इम्यून सिस्टम. तो इम्यून सिस्टम इतना वीक हो जाता है कि हमारा जो छोटा जो बैक्टीरिया होता है वो भी हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम को वो कर जाता है. तो इसलिए हमें कोल्ड या इन्फ्लुएंजा जैसे वायरस से हम लोग को प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. तो इम्यून सिस्टम का स्ट्रांग होना बहुत जरूरी है. तो डेली लाइफ में इम्यून सिस्टम हमारा स्ट्रांग रहता है.
Correct. So up, we need to understand that, as he just gave an example of a disease, right? And he's trying to tell that what happens in a specific disease, the one he mentioned, AIDS, that person's immunity power goes low. So even something which is very nominal for another person becomes dangerous in terms of his health or his life jeopardy. It becomes a jeopardy for his life in first place. Now, this is what we need to understand, that as we are going through the preparation, there'll be certain heat, there'll be certain emotions which will try to overpower us. But if we keep our emotional immune system very strong, we are interacting with our parents, taking good sleep, taking good amount of water. I'm not sure if I think he didn't focus on that. Maybe he'll do that. A lot of learners need to understand this, that our brain is composed of maximum amount of fluids are there in our brain as well as in our body. This is 70% of our body is fluid. The more fluid objects we are taking up, for example, fresh drinking water, juices, right, etc., healthy drinks, they'll make sure that your water content of the body is good. You're not undergoing hydration, etc. Sometimes become too focused on the preparation or so busy in it that we stop taking care of our body. But when you take good care of your body, as I just told, one of the parts of that is having good water intake. Please don't forget that. A lot of people do this mistake and they keep on circling doctors for what has happened, what has happened. Ultimately, all doctors say, Arey Baba, take good water and you will be healthy. They do that. A lot of diseases just go away from you if you have good water intake. Please don't forget that. Okay. Good. Thank you, Anurag, for that insight too. Biology, you said NCRT. Can you also brief us about chemistry and physics? Yes.
सर सर फिजिक्स में तो स्टार्टिंग में इन इनिशियल पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ड्यूरिंग माय फिजिक्स आई यूज्ड टू स्ट्रगल अ लॉट आई डोंट यूज्ड टू अंडरस्टैंड द कांसेप्ट आई डोंट यूज्ड टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मैकेनिकल एनर्जी कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एंगुलर मोमेंटम वर्क एनर्जी पावर थ्योरम आई डोंट यूज्ड टू अंडरस्टैंड इवन सिंपल F is equal to ma न्यूटन थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन आई डोंट हैव एनी आई यूज्ड टू स्ट्रगल अ लॉट फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स हो गया कुछ भी चैप्टर हो गया कुछ समझ नहीं आता था 12 का एंड आते आते तक मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आता था तो 12 का एंड के बाद 3-4 मंथ्स लगे मैंने और मेहनत की मेरे को था मेरे अंदर जो मुझे लगता है मेरा तो सबसे बेस्ट क्वालिटी है वो मेरे अंदर ये कि मैं नेवर गिविंग अप एटीट्यूड है मैं कोई भी चीज छोड़ता नहीं हूँ मतलब कि जो रास्ते में मैं चल जाता हूँ मतलब कि मुझे ये करना है तो मुझे वो करना ही है मतलब कि गोल को अचीव करना ही है तो यही है मेरा कि मैंने वो छोड़ा नहीं तो एट द एंड क्या हो गया कि मेरा कंसेप्ट समझ में आने लगा और जैसे ही मेरा कंसेप्ट समझ में आने लग गया उसके बाद मेरा कंस्ट्रक्टिव थिंकिंग स्किल्स हो गया या फिर आईक्यू हो गया या कंसेप्ट को कोरिलेट करना हो गया वो सब अपने आप होने लग गया मतलब एक बार जो स्ट्रगल कर लिया उसके बाद अपने आप सब कुछ होने लग गया
Good. That is there, Anurag. So again, coming back to the question, chemistry ke liye, are there some specific books that you can recommend to the NEET that you referred perhaps for your preparation, Anurag?
सर सर केमिस्ट्री के लिए क्या है कि आप सर केमिस्ट्री के लिए क्या है कि आप कंसेप्ट को पकड़ो केमिस्ट्री में 3 सब्जेक्ट है एक इनऑर्गेनिक है एक फिजिकल एक ऑर्गेनिक है तो इनऑर्गेनिक और फिजिकल के लिए तो आप मतलब कि इनऑर्गेनिक के लिए तो आप एनसीईआरटी पढ़ लोगे तो वो सफिशिएंट ही है और फिजिकल क्या है कि आपको कंसेप्ट पकड़ लेना है कंसेप्ट पकड़ने के बाद न्यूमेरिकल प्रैक्टिस करना है न्यूमेरिकल्स के लिए आप कॉलेज कर सर मैंने डीपीपी जो मेरे को सीट मिली थी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट में वही पढ़ता था
Okay, so you used to solve coaching institutes का DPQs for physical chemistry. For inorganic chemistry, NCRT and DPQs must have followed. कोई specific book recommendation है क्या for organic chemistry?
नहीं सर मेरा कोई पार्टिकुलर बुक नहीं था मतलब कि मैं जो कोचिंग का जो डीपीपी देता था और जो नोट्स उन लोग देते थे मैं उन्हीं को पढ़ता था सर
Okay. So Anurag, now that we are coming towards the end of this session, I think shared a lot. We have students with us, Priyanka, Shreyasi, listening to your work. So listening to your conversation. So before that, before they ask questions from my last question to you is Anurag, तुमने मेरी क्लासेस में जो भी समय स्पेंड किया है ना टेकअवेज दैट आपको मेरी क्लासेस के बारे में ऐसे कौन से की पॉइंटर्स थे जो अच्छे लगे व्हिच यू थिंक दैट any learner studying with me would have the advantage of experiencing when he or she my class.
Sir, sir, according to me, the most important thing is you need to understand that whenever you are giving any kind of competition examination, you need to understand the level of that competition examination. If you are preparing for NEET, then you must focus that you are preparing for NEET. You are not preparing for UPSC. You are not preparing for J1. So you need to solve the NEET level examination questions. You need to approach the NEET level examination question. And the most important thing which I liked about you that when I was studying with you, then you gave us the problem which was up to the NEET level, not more than NEET level, not less than NEET level. It was up to the NEET level. So that was the most important thing. And second was that you used to move to other level through a gradually step by step process was going through in your preparation. Means when I was preparing in your coaching, then you are taking us to another level, to another level, to another level through question through what to say through step by step method. You are not taking that first you are taking hard question, then you are taking easy question, then you are taking moderate question. You took easy question, then you took moderate question, then you took tough question. So that was the most important thing, that you are going through a step by step process, because our brain also works in that similar manner. You can't do a tough job earlier and easier work before. You need to do easy work before and then go to tougher before.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you again for that valuable insight. And Thank you for sharing what all were the good points that you experienced. So now we'll take Shreyasi and Priyanka for their questions. Let's start with Priyanka. Priyanka, for the questions that I think you had suggested you wanted to ask. Apart from that, also, if there is anything that has come in your mind that you want to really share or ask from Anurag, please go ahead. Over to you, Priyanka. Yes.
सर मुझे बोलना है क्या?
Priyanka will ask a question and then maybe you can answer that question, Anurag.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, Priyanka, over to you.
I just want to ask you one question. Anna, is it advisable we can opt for both NEET and JEE preparation at once, or is it we should focus on either one, either NEET or JEE?
Anurag, question clear, Anna. She's trying to ask that so she has actually opted for both maths and biology. So now she's asking, is it good to just prepare for NEET with a single-minded focus, or can one also prepare for NEET and JEE together simultaneously? Will that be an advantage? Or will that be not an advantage? Or does it depend upon the student? Yes, go ahead.
Sir, according to me, it depends on the student to student.
Okay.
Some student has high potential, they can cover, they can, it depends upon the time management also, that how much time you have left. Some, because in NEET and JEE, two subjects are common, physics and chemistry are common. You need to study biology and mathematics at different level of time and at different intensity. So you need to understand that time management is very much important during this period of time. And second most important thing is that you need to understand that what's your level during this examination. What's your do you give mock test during your time? What's the name, sir?
Priyanka.
Do you give mock test?
Priyanka, actually, she has just started, so she'll a little unaware of it. She will be, I think, she will be taking up mock tests. She has just entered 11th from grade 10th, so it's just her start, first 2 weeks of her preparation.
So you need to also have mid correction during your preparation of time, that मेरे को तुम्हें ये समझना पड़ेगा कि तुम जब एग्जामिनेशन दे रहे हो, जब तुम नीट का जब एग्जाम दे रहे हो, तुम क्या बोलते हैं, नीट का या जेई का जब तुम मॉक टेस्ट दे रहे हो, तो अगर तुम्हारा 150 प्लस आ रहा है, नीट 150 प्लस आ रहा है जेई मेंस में, और नीट में भी तुम्हारा अगर 600 क्रॉस कर रहा है, देन यू कैन गो फॉर preparing for JEE mains and JEE mains and NEET. And
Now,
if you are scoring less than 150 and if you are scoring less than 600 in NEET and JEE mains, then you need to choose for one.
okay, superb. So I think, Priyanka, that is quite clear with you. He has told that, yes, it is possible that one can take both preparations simultaneously, but it is a very subjective question and can depend from one learner to another learner. One learner who one should experiment it. This is what he's saying. For 2 to 3 preparations, try to be very good with mathematics and physics, mathematics and biology simultaneously. See that for the first few lessons, how good are you able to score? If you're able to score some good amount of marks, say between 500 to 600 or above 600 in biology and in mathematics also, if you're able, or in JEE prep also, this is not just biology, I'm talking about your NEET mock exam, because the total is of 720. So if you're able to score above 600, similarly, if you're able to score, say, above 150 in a score of 360 JEE also. So if both things are happening and you are able to deliver, like do justice to your preparations in both good enough, if not, then you can take a decision that, okay, maybe now now I'm not being able to row both the boats simultaneously. Maybe it's time to be with one boat and let the other move at its own pace. So that's when you have to take a decision. So you can do a trial and error method, right, Priyanka? I hope that's answer is clear to you.
Yes.
Right. So do a trial and error method. Try to prepare both simultaneously. Very important is your time management skills. The more efficient you are at managing your time, the better are the chances that you'll score well in both the papers. Good. Thank you, Anurag, for that insight. Thank you very much. So I think Shreyasi had a question. We'll give the mic to Shreyasi. Yes, Shreyasi, you can unmute yourself and ask your query.
So then I had this doubt. Like, can I just go for the books first? I have one doubt.
Go ahead.
Okay. So what is the book that you followed in physics, particularly for the objective questions of NEET level?
So as he's saying, I think he was more focused on solving the DPPs of the coaching classes. So he visited my classes, and I think he also went to some other classes for his prep. So he was more focused on the DPP solving, because I'll tell you honestly, Shreyasi, that most of the I'll not take the names of the coaching institute because this is going to be a show over YouTube. So we'll maybe discuss it in the class itself as well as now also, irrespective of the book that you pick up, right? What is very essential that you don't just solve one question one time. As I always say, try to tackle similar kind of questions again and again. Try to get an insight from what the question is trying to ask you. The more you expose yourself to the questions, the reading pattern, the more you read the PYQ, see all the questions that are there, no, be it errorless or be it Objective Approach to Physics by DC Pandey, or you take up some other book like MTG Publications or whatnot. You take up any book, you will see most of the questions or NCRT extract. All of these books have been inspired from the previous year question papers that keep coming, or questions that keep coming in the previous years. So take one book, stick to it, and mark what is important, what is not important in that book. Try to revisit it as the time passes. You will see this revisiting the similar questions, especially the difficult ones, again and again, will make you stronger at that topics. And I think Anurag will agree with me and he can add some more points. Anurag, sahi keh raha hoon kya? Have a please share your views as well, Anurag.
सर सबसे पहले तो मैंने स्टार्टिंग में कह दिया था कि फिजिक्स के लिए हो या कोई भी हो, कंसेप्ट इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट। मतलब कि कोई भी एग्जामिनेशन का कंसेप्ट जो है ना, वो सेंटर कोर है। अगर आपका कंसेप्ट नहीं आता तो आपके पास कितना भी मैथमेटिक्स हो जाए, आपके पास कितना भी अच्छा इंग्लिश हो जाए, लेकिन अगर आपके पास कंसेप्ट नहीं, और कंसेप्ट में भी कंस्ट्रक्टिव कंसेप्ट, मतलब कि कौन सा कंसेप्ट के बाद कौन सा कंसेप्ट लगने वाला है, प्रॉपर थिंकिंग स्किल्स हो गया, अगर वो नहीं आता आपको तो आप मतलब आप दुनिया का कितना भी किताब सॉल्व कर लो, आपका आईआईटी जेईई और नीट नहीं निकलने वाला है।
Correct. Shreyasi, remind me in our next classes, no, the point that we just discussed, that after every question, we'll try to summarize in a line what were the key major process flow in that question. हमने वो question कैसे solve किया? We'll try to write that from this class itself so that you all can develop that habit also when you all are doing those questions at your home. Clear है ना Shreyasi? मुझे याद कराना. In the coming classes, when we are in the previous class, we took some PYQs, right, from the NEET exam. So let's try to make sure in the coming class we'll have a habit of writing down after every question just one liner. What was the main process flow of that question? Cool, Shreyasi? Works
Yes,
with.
sir.
Chalo, super, great. So this is something that we all gathered here for, and it was a great time that we. Anything else that Shreyasi and Priyanka you want to ask Anurag? Anything else, Shreyasi? Okay. Priyanka, any other queries, questions that you might have that you want to ask Anurag regarding his AIIMS preparation? NEET?
No, sir.
Yes. Great. Oh, super. So I think thank you, Anurag, for being with us today for this 1 hour session. It went very well, I believe. Is there anything specific, one-liner or maybe a two-liner message that you want to convey to all the NEET learners who gathered with us today or who will be watching this session? Anurag, do you want to share anything good? How is your life as a medico? How you're feeling? And maybe that will serve as a motivation for them. Yes. कैसा लग रहा है यहाँ पे पढ़ाई करके एम्स का हिस्सा बनके? 2 या 3 लाइनें जो तुम कहना चाहोगे, इंग्लिश में भी कहना और फिर उसको हिंदी में भी दोहरा देना कि
सर सबसे पहले तो लाइफ इज ए स्ट्रगल, यू नीड टू डू अ लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रगल टू अचीव सक्सेस इन योर लाइफ। मतलब कि आज की डेट में अगर कोई ने भी किसी ने भी कुछ भी निकाला हो, मतलब कि कोई भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जॉब निकाला हो, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट जॉब निकाला हो, या किसी ने भी कुछ भी निकाला हो, उसमें स्ट्रगल तो उसमें बहुत करनी पड़ती है। मतलब कि देयर इज नो सक्सेस विदाउट स्ट्रगल। द वर्ड सक्सेस कम्स आफ्टर स्ट्रगल।
So success is a tale of struggle, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Struggle is there. After that, success will follow you naturally. Good. Yes. What else, Anurag? Anything else that you want to convey to them?
सर सबसे पहले तो जो आप लोग से, जो आपका स्टूडेंट जो आप लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, उनको बोलना कि सबसे पहले मतलब स्टार्टिंग में उनको कंसेप्ट ही समझ में नहीं आएगा। कंसेप्ट समझ में नहीं आएगा तो उन लोग कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो सबसे पहले फोकस करना कंसेप्ट। मतलब फिजिक्स में फर्स्ट स्टेप जो है की के लिए, वो सक्सेस के लिए की जो है कंसेप्ट है। उसके बाद कंसेप्ट के बाद उनका थिंकिंग स्किल्स और कंस्ट्रक्टिव अप्रोच जो है वो इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगर एक बार कंसेप्ट समझ में गया, उसके बाद उनको क्वेश्चन सॉल्विंग में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, जो कि मुझे भी होती थी, तो उसके लिए आपको समझना होगा कि कंस्ट्रक्टिव अप्रोच लगाना होगा आपको। क्वेश्चन का जो सॉल्यूशन है, बुक में जो क्वेश्चन का जो सॉल्यूशन है, कोई भी डीपीपी में क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, 4-5 क्वेश्चन देख लिया, उसके हिसाब से एक आइडिया लगाना होगा कि कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम में कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एंगुलर मोमेंटम में कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आ रहा है। तो एक आइडियल अप्रोच का मतलब कि एक आइडिया भी लगाना पड़ेगा कि किस तरह का क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, तो आइडिया का भी लगाने का भी एक दिमाग एक यूज करना होगा।
करेक्ट, वेरी गुड, एक्सीलेंट एक्सीलेंट, दैट्स अगेन अ वेरी, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है आज तुमने ज्ञान की गंगा बहा दी बच्चों के लिए। थैंक यू अनुराग फॉर दिस वैल्यूएबल set of time that you have given from your busy schedule. Thank you for being with us. I really hope जो भी आज तुमने कहा इन बच्चों के लिए वो उनके प्रेपरेशन में बहुत हेल्प करे। अनुराग इज सेइंग कि आप लोग कॉन्सेप्ट को समझने पे ध्यान दीजिए। कोई भी सम आता तो ये देखो कि उस क्वेश्चन में किस तरह से डेटा दिया जा रहा है, एक पैटर्न पकड़ने की कोशिश करो इन योर preparation period. Try to understand that how are the questions being framed. Generally, what kind of data is given in a specific time. Once you try to decode that pattern, it becomes very easy to crack the questions with time. And remember, this is one message. And second message that Anurag has conveyed कि संघर्ष के बिना सफलता बहुत दूर का सपना है। यानी कि if you will learn to embrace struggles, success will definitely follow you. I repeat, if you learn to embrace struggles in life, success will definitely follow you. It can come sooner or later, but will definitely be yours. So with that good intention in mind, one last message that I will convey, apart from these struggles and stories of success and struggles, remember that whatever is best for you will come to you. So learn to embrace your present reality. That is one of the best things that you can do to yourself, not just as a NEET or JEE aspirant, but as a human being. Try to embrace your reality the way it is without being too much judgmental about it. It's okay. Let it be and keep moving, keep enjoying your life. Thank you, Anurag, for being with us. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you, Shreyasi. Thank you, Aisha, to each one of you. Thanks to each of our learners for being with us today for this session. And do share this session with as many NEET learners you might know. जो भी मेडिकल की तैयारी कर रहे हैं उनके साथ इस सेशन को जरूर शेयर करो। आपके कोई और सजेशंस हैं, आप अनुराग भैया से वापस एक सेशन में मिलना चाहते हो, we'll request him if he can take time for you all. He'll definitely try to come. And do leave your comments. How did you feel about this conversation in the section in the YouTube, right? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anurag. Thank you for taking your valuable time. Thanks to each one of you. Have a great day.